Rational expressions are very similar to rational numbers or fractions. The properties and rules that we use for fractions are the same ones that we're going to use for rational expressions. What we want to do first is do some reducing to lowest terms. We want to take this rational expression here and reduce to lowest terms. We do so by factoring the numerator. So I'll factor a 5 out. What's left is x plus 5. And then factoring the denominator, the difference of two squares, x plus 5 times x minus 5. Then we divide out any factors they have in common, which in this case is x plus 5. What's left is 5 over x minus 5. So that's the reduced version of this original rational expression right here. And we reduce to lowest terms by factoring the numerator, factoring the denominator, and then dividing out any factors they have in common. Second problem here, we have this rational expression. In the numerator is the sum of two cubes. In the denominator is the difference of two squares. Let's factor. A plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. I've memorized that formula for factoring the sum of two cubes. The difference of two squares is a plus b times a minus b. I notice that I have an a plus b common to each term. I'll divide those out. What's left is a squared minus ab plus b squared over a minus b. So that's the reduced version of this rational expression. Again, I reduce to lowest terms by factoring and then dividing out any factors they have in common. Let's look at the next problem. Here I'm going to have to use a little of my factoring by grouping. So what I'm going to do is start by factoring an x from the first two terms in the numerator. What's left is x plus b. Out of the second two terms, I'm going to factor a negative 3. What's left is x plus b. In the denominator, I'll go to the first two terms and factor out an x. What's left is x minus 2b. And out of the second two terms, I'm going to factor a negative 3 so that what's left is x minus 2b there also. Now I continue to factor by grouping. Here I'll take the x plus b that's common to this term and this term out in front. What's left is x minus 3. And in the denominator I'll take this factor that's common to both terms, take it outside. What's left is x minus 3. Now I divide out the factor that they have in common, which is those two, and I have x plus b over x minus 2b. And that's the reduced version of this rational expression, and this time I did my factoring by using that factoring by grouping. That's the reduced version. One more problem. X minus 4 over 4 minus x. Well, x minus 4 and 4 minus x are opposites. So if I factor a negative 1 from both terms in the denominator here, you can see that 4 minus x is the same as the opposite of x minus 4. Now if I divide those out, I end up with 1 over negative 1, which is simply negative 1. So you can show this work if you want, or you can just notice that x minus 4 and 4 minus x are opposites, divide those out, and end up with negative 1. That's a look at reducing rational expressions to lowest terms.